Session View is one of the most powerful features in Ableton Live, but it can be confusing when you're just starting. In this lesson, I'll show you exactly how it works so you can get started making music with confidence. Hi, my name is Bailey Barnes, and on this channel, I help beginner composers learn how to create music for video games and film. From DAW tutorials and compositional tips, my goal is to make the process simple and practical. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Okay, so Session View in Ableton, it's mostly used for live performance or for DJs. It allows you to trigger clips with your MIDI controller, all sorts of other cool stuff. But today I want to show you how I like to use it more as a creative tool for composing music. The first thing, this box down here, the info window. This is a good window to leave open if you are just starting in Ableton. It helps you recognize all the features that are in here. If I hover over anything in Ableton in this session view here, it will tell me what the name of it is and what it does. So that's a good thing to keep open if you're new to Ableton. Let's take a look at the top left corner here. I'm just going to show you some of the more important features that'll get you up and rolling to making music. So first thing we're going to look at is the tempo. So right up here, if you click on this, you notice it already says 120. If you click on that, this is something that can kind of throw you off, but notice I clicked on it and it's highlighted. Nothing's going on, nothing shows up. But if you automatically start typing in it, let's say I want to do 195 as a BPM, press enter. The next thing is our time signature. This one's important, especially if you're creating music for video games or film. There are times when you may want to switch your time signature within your piece. So I'm going to click in this box and I can change this to 3/4. We'll just do that. Now, I'm going to go and change this back. The next thing too, this one's important. This is your metronome, okay? So this one you can click on right here and it will highlight the whole box there for you. And a shortcut for this too that I didn't know for a while is you can press O and it'll deactivate. You can hit O and it'll turn that back on for you. Over here to the right, we have the arrangement position field. This tells you where you're at in your project. So if I just play this, you're going to notice that it's going to start right here. Wherever you're currently at on the track, the arrangement field position would tell you where you're at. Next, we have the play button. Now, you could either click this with your mouse, or you can hit spacebar, and that will stop and start the play button. Of course, you have your normal stop button here. And this is an interesting one. This is actually the arrangement view recording button. And we are not going to worry about that today. To record in session view, which is the session we're in here, you actually want to look at this button right here. This is the session record button. This records anything in this session view. This is what you want to record with. And now let's move over to the left side of Ableton. Let's check out the browser. The browser is really important because this is where all of your sounds, your drums, your effects all live over here in this region. And what you can do is if you're looking for a specific sound, you can go up here to the search bar, which is what I'm going to do now. And I'm just going to look up grand piano. We're going to take this grand piano instrument here and we're going to take it, we're going to drag it over to track number 3. Also, another thing you can do is whatever track is highlighted, like this one here, you can actually double click and it will put the instrument in that track automatically for you. You don't have to drag it in there. So that is your choice. So let's take a look at this MIDI track and see what we have going on here. So the first thing you're going to notice is that you have a whole bunch of these boxes, okay? And these are called your clip slots. So your clip slots will hold all of your ideas that you make within a session. So we're going to go down here and we're going to press the arm button. And this is one way that you can record in here. What we are going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit this session record button up here. And we are going to play a little something and see what we got. All right, so now that I have something recorded in there, I just played on my MIDI controller. Now if we play this back. So that was with pressing the session record button. at the top. Now let me show you a different way. So I'm going to delete this clip here. So again, I'm just going to press backspace and it's going to get rid of that clip for me. You can click this circle here and it will start recording for you. It'll give you that count in as well. So let's do that. Let's give it a try. So let's say that you don't play piano and you just want to start experimenting and making notes. So what we can do is, back in this MIDI clip, I'm going to double click this and it will make a MIDI clip for me. So after you put in your MIDI clip, you're going to notice down here, and you may have already seen this, that a window pops up down here. And this is the MIDI note editor. So down here, again, I'm just going to show you the very basics of this. That way you can get rolling. So if you notice over to the left side, there's this length button here. And this one's important because it will change the length of your MIDI clip. So right now we are at 1 bar. You want to start typing in, let's say I want this to be 4 bars. I'm going to click that in. And now you notice we have 4 bars in that single clip. So very good thing to know here. You can change that. So this next feature is super helpful. So you notice there's a scale button right here. You want to make sure this is checked. If music theory really isn't your strong suit, you can click this button and it will highlight all of the notes that was within the scale that you pick. So if, for instance, if we go D, we could go D minor. Notice that all these have changed. And the cool thing is, let's say you want to learn some of the modes. This can actually be a fantastic teaching tool for yourself as well, because it has all of these modes in here. The next thing, you may be following along right now and you may be like, well, I'm not hearing anything in my note editor. What's going on? If you look up here to the left, this little button right here, if you click this, now you're able to hear your notes that you input on your MIDI editor. And the way we input a note, you can double click, boom, and you can put a note in, and then if you hold that, you can make the note longer or you can make it shorter. If you find that this is a little too small, you can go over to the left and there's this magnifying glass. You can actually click that and you can move left or right and it will expand this for you. And the cool thing is now we expanded it enough to where we can see our note that we're playing. Another way, which is even faster, is you can press B and it will change this to a pencil tool, and you can just hold this down and you can just input notes anywhere you want. Okay, so you can do that. Now you're going to hold left on your mouse. You'll let go of that and then just press the backspace and it will get rid of all that for you. So now you can start fresh if you didn't like the idea. So let's talk about audio track. So I'm going to right click over here to the right in the empty space, and then I'm going to look for the insert audio track. We're going to click this insert audio track, and now we have a nice audio track. So again, in order for this to work on the audio track, you want to go down here, you want to press the arm button, and then you're going to hit the auto. That way you can hear your instrument as it's coming through. What we're going to do is we're going to record some audio. This time I'm going to hit the record button down here in this clip slot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll hit stop on the space bar. Now let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you notice too, the audio clip just looped and looped and looped, and that's kind of how Session View is set up. Okay, and again, that works the same for MIDI. So speaking of loops, the good thing to keep in mind is this little box down here. This is the track status display. And what this does, this is a really cool thing. On the left-hand side here, this displays how many times the loop has played. Over to the right of that, there's this little pie chart. It's representing the loop itself, kind of how long it has left to play. Over to the far right, this number here displays the length of your clip in beats. So also too, you can rename any of these tracks. So for example, if I click on grand piano, you could right click and then you can rename that once you click that, or you can press Control R. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna rename this to just piano. And after you type that in, you will press enter. And also a great thing too is you can rename the clips themselves. This really comes in handy because if you have a lot of clips in here, and you can put as many as you want in any spot that you want. If I needed to rename all these clips, I'm gonna right click and the same thing again. You just want to make sure that it's highlighted, and then you could put 1, 4, 5. Okay, so that's how you can do that. The next function I want to show you is really cool, and it's similar to kind of what we've been doing, but if you look over to the main track, you're going to notice there's also buttons to play over here, and this is where the ideas can start to roll and you can start adding and mix matching. So let's say for instance, and there's nothing on this MIDI piano, so you won't hear nothing play here, but remember we did our lovely count in. If I hit this button, it will play every single thing that's in this row. So if you add more tracks and more tracks and more tracks, it will play everything that is in that scene. This is what this is called. This is not a clip slot, this is a scene. Okay, now so let's talk about grouping. So you can actually group tracks inside of Ableton, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say we don't have an instrument on here yet. I'm going to duplicate this track. What I'm going to do, I'm going to press Control D, and I duplicated that to where there's 4 cents. This would be a great time to rename your tracks. And another option too is you can right click and you can change your color here. Now in order to group these, what we're going to do is I'm going to hold shift, and as I hold shift I'm going to click the next one, and now you notice all of these are highlighted. So now you can let off your keyboard, and what you're going to do, you're going to click Control, again because I'm on a PC, you're going to click Control G, and now you notice they are grouped. Grouping is very good. Again, if you're going to use these sends and returns, it's a quick way to affect everything. You can rename your group track to whatever you want. So for this one, I'm just going to do synths. If you notice now, there are shaded boxes here, and that is just letting you know that there is a clip somewhere in that scene in this group. So now what I want to do is show you an example of how I used Session View to create my song back then. This is a really cool song. I love this song. And I used Session View in order to sketch out my ideas. For instance, you notice over here, like we mentioned earlier, I have my intro, there's a B section here, and there's a break, and then there's the end. So let's check it out. Let's see what we got going here. So let's play the intro. So you notice that all of those were highlighted when I press this. Here, I'll do it one more time. They all turn green, and it plays every single thing that's in there. Now let's check out the break. And the cool thing is I could play this in any order I want to. You can take any of these clips, just like I'm gonna take here, and you can move these around. You can even move it over to a different track if you wanted to. All right, so now you know the basics of Session View. Don't worry about memorizing it all. One of the best ways to really learn this stuff is to get into Ableton Live and experiment. So I hope you found value out of this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Now go make some music, and we'll see you in the next video.